Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Thomas Brush, and I make indie games for a living. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been making indie games from my bedroom, from my parents' basement, from my college dorm, from my desk job. No matter where I go in my life, I make indie games. Now, I do it full time. It's my job. I've released several games. I'm working on my third commercial release, and my job is to show you guys how to do it. So be sure to subscribe, leave a like, and leave a comment. And hit the notification bell, do all that cool stuff if you want to participate in this community, learning how to make games. Now, specifically with this video, I actually want to show you an email that I got from Christopher. Christopher is basically asking about how to start making games. What is the process of making an indie game? I'm going to sort of skim through this here, but he says, when I look at it all, I get a little overwhelmed with what to do. All I ever wanted to do since a very young age was to create video games. This is my passion. He's currently looking at C++ and using Unreal. So I'm not going to recommend either of those, but what I'm going to do is sort of give you a roadmap here, Chris, and hopefully this will help you guys out, a roadmap here of how you're going to make indie games. And here's the trick. We're going to get to the last stage here. I've got all my tabs set up to show you the path. What's interesting is you're actually going to go full-time before you finish your game. I know that sounds really, really weird. I'm going to show you the path here. Really quickly, if you guys want it to be a little bit easier, I have a couple tabs open here. This is from my website, Full-Time Game Dev. I have an Easy 3D course. It's called Easy 3D. It's how to make a 3D game with no code and no models. Totally free to enroll. Click below. Or I have a 2D game kit. If you're into 2D game development, there's a 2D game kit below. Totally free. I'd recommend signing up for both of these. There's no reason not to. You can use them whenever you want, however you want to. And then I also have a webinar on how to make six figures selling your indie games. These are three totally free resources that you can take a look at. Feel free to click the links below while we talk about the first step. Okay, here's the first step. You know nothing about making indie games, right? You know absolutely nothing about making indie games. The first step is to go to Steam and look at the games that you really love. Go to your library or go to Steam or go to any platform of choice. Find the games that you really love, okay? I need you to narrow it down to 2, okay? Find what makes those games really great. I highly recommend being inspired by indie games because their budget is probably going to be more similar to yours. Your budget, even if you're not paying yourself, your budget is tiny. It's like 10 grand. And again, you're not going to spend this money, but just imagine you have an hourly rate, okay? You're working on this game as a hobby project in the evenings or in the morning or through your lunch break or in school while your professor is talking about stuff you don't care about, like I did. You'll make your game on your laptop. That's all going to happen, and you're going to be doing it without paying yourself. That's totally fine, but you still need an hourly rate, an imaginary hourly rate. What games on Steam match that budget? Something like $10,000 to $30,000 is going to be the amount of time you spend on your game, okay? Find those 2 games that fit within that budget that you're inspired by. Use those as a reference point. Now, that takes us to our next step, the game design document. Believe it or not, guys, I've been doing this for a long time, half my life, and I always find myself Googling game design document template. And I usually end up clicking this one here, okay? It's at StudyLib, okay? And it looks like we have an issue with the page here. That's great, very convenient. Okay, there we go. I always download this and I use it. Guys, the game design document is just going to help you flesh out your game, help you really get your game idea solidified, the mechanics, the look and feel, the music, the genre. That's super important because really you want guide rails, you want limitations, especially as an indie game developer. We don't have an unlimited budget, so stick within a genre. And also, this is super important, a target audience. All of this, don't skip this step. Do not skip this step. And I say that because I've done it, and I always go back and I end up doing it because it's so important. It helps you stick to your schedule. All of these elements here need to be filled out. It's going to take you a while. Fill out these elements. Get your game design document beautiful, print it out, maybe even sign it almost like it's a contract and have it handy and start your game. All right, so now we're actually gonna start our game. Let's go to the next tab here. And all these links are below, guys. All these links are below. Every step of this process, the links are below. We're going to use Unity. Now, I know you said you want to use Unreal. That's totally fine too. Unreal has the same kind of resources we're going to discuss here. Unity or Unreal, they're competitors. They're both going to be our platforms of choice. And they're going to take our assets. Assets would be artwork, 3D models, sound effects, code. Bring those into one software and then port that game to various platforms. I prefer Unity. That's what I love, so that's what I'm going to recommend. I'm a huge advocate for Unity. But you can use Unreal as well. But if you are interested in following my channel and you want to sort of be part of the community, we're mostly Unity developers here at my channel. So Unity is what you're going to use here. So you're just going to click Start for free. And you're going to download the Unity Hub. The Unity Hub is going to allow you to install any version of Unity and just keep up with the latest updates. Now you're thinking, okay, I just downloaded Unity. Now what do I do? Well, we need to learn Unity. Go to learn.unity.com. And guys, there's a ton of stuff to learn here. It's incredible. It's all free, okay? Now, obviously, you can go to fulltimegamedev.com, which is my website, and learn Unity from me, but I'm not going to pitch that right now. You could go to Unity or learn.unity.com, and I highly recommend you, just like we did with the game design document. We're not going to skip steps here, guys. Be consistent, be disciplined, and go through each course here. I think maybe Unity Essentials and Junior Programmer is about all you really need to look at. You could definitely do Creative Core here, but these two are super duper important. Now, if you want to make a game fast, which I highly, highly recommend you make a game fast, your first game should be crap. It should not be great. You should get it out of the way, get it done, so that you can check it off your list and say, I made my first game. Release it on itch.io, link is in the description. Release that game. It's going to be a crap game. And the way we're going to do it fast, the way we're going to get this out of the way and just get it over with. Again, you want to get your game over with because you want to get your first game over with because your first game is going to be crap. So might as well just release it, okay? You're not going to make much money off of your first game. That's okay. Spend a couple weeks to 3 months working on this first game. Release it on itch.io, and you're going to build that thick skin. That thick skin is going to help you know or have the strength to actually release games. Most of you watching this video, I hate to break it to you, most of you watching this video, you're not going to release games. You're going to keep making games, but never finish them. So I'm going to challenge you right now. Finish your first game. Get it done. It doesn't matter if it's good. Get it done. Because there's a little bit of a psychology game here. You get kind of a rush. It's almost like taking a hit of a cigarette. I don't know. Something like that. It's a rush. And it's like, wait a second. That felt good. And you're going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it more. Okay? It's addicting, releasing games. So here's how we make games fast. Once you learn Unity, once you take these classes here, totally free here, we're going to go to the Unity Asset Store. Now, if you want to make a 2D game, we're going to click on 2D. And guys, there are so many assets on the Unity Asset Store for 2D games. It's unbelievable. There's kits, okay? So I offer, a 2D game kit, right? And I use this game kit to make a game for PewDiePie in 14 days. Or you can, let's see here, you can download assets. So there's kits to make a game really fast. It's got the infrastructure there ready to go. You just follow their documentation. Or there's just like, let's say assets. Like if you really needed, a pixelated goblin enemy, it's $5, right? To download this goblin enemy. Now, here's what you're probably thinking. You're probably thinking, well, this is going to make a really incohesive, muddy game. And the answer is correct. But again, we're trying to release our first game here. Let's get it done fast. It's okay if it's muddy and incohesive. Let's just get it done, all right? We could focus on making a highly polished game for your second and third game. I know a lot of you don't like hearing that. Really, you need to do that. You need to make a crappy game first. Just get it out of the way. Just get your game done. I promise you, it's you can't really skip that step, okay? Now, if you want to make a 3D game, there's 3D assets as well. Let's let this page load here. Yeah, there's 3D assets as well. And it's a lot easier to make a 3D game that's cohesive in style. I don't know why. I think it's just because most 3D models, regardless of their style, kind of look good together, especially because you can put lighting and shadows and post-processing effects, and that's just making your camera, it's like an Instagram filter, basically. You can make things look good even if they're from a variety of different packs. And again, there's templates for games. Like if you really wanted to make a ball roller game, a rollerball game, there's packs for that. Isn't that cool? There's just packs here. Ball roll. Yeah, there's all kinds of packs here. Look at this, swipe ball controller. So no matter, you don't have to build all this from scratch. It's pretty amazing. And then let's say you're like, well, if I'm making a rollerball game or a marble game, what if I want some trees? Like some beautiful trees while I'm rolling a ball around. Just type in trees. And now I have all these 3D trees. This is also really helpful using assets. It's really helpful to use assets because what it's going to do is you're going to actually be able to study what people have already made. And so instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, you just download trees and you go, oh, that's how they made that tree. Or, oh, there's the texture on that tree. I kind of understand texturing a little bit. That's definitely true for me. I just started downloading assets. I've got a ton of assets. Guys, I've been doing this for a really, really long time, okay? I've been making games for about half my life. Look how many assets I have. And this is just after the past 4 years. It's there's 194 assets I've downloaded. And I make commercial games. My games are on PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, Apple Arcade, Steam. So I release games and I do this full time and I make a good living and I'm using assets. So don't ever be ashamed to use assets. So download these 2D assets, these 3D assets, and start putting them into your game. A lot of you are thinking, Thomas, I'm going to make custom assets. That's great. If you want to do that, that's great. I think you just need to get your first game done. So that's just my recommendation. So once you've got this demo done for your second game, now I just skipped a step here. Release that first crappy game. Get it done. It's like 2 levels. You're like, this is crap. I hate this game. Release it on itch.io. Call it a day. Congratulations. You just released your first game. Now that you've done that, now's the time to really make your real first game, your first commercial release, okay? Now that we've sort of practiced a little bit, we're going to make our first commercial release. The funny thing here is we're not going to make our first commercial release. I know I'm throwing a lot of weird tricks at you. You're actually going to make your first prototype, your first commercial release prototype. So once you've released your crappy game on itch.io, now we're going to make our first prototype for our first commercial release. A prototype is, they call it a vertical slice. It can be a demo. It can be called a pitch, right? It's actually a variety of things. And the reason we're going to make this hyper-polished vertical slice, this demo, this pitch, is so that we can secure funding, okay? So just like a job interview, see, most of us know how to get jobs, right? Why is that? Because we're taught that at school. We're taught how to get a job. But as my father-in-law would say, he's a landscaper, he would call it, he wins jobs, because he runs his own business and he wins jobs. He goes to somebody's house, he pitches his services, he pitches his price, and then he wins a job as opposed to gets a job. You get a job when you get like a boss and they give you a paycheck. Winning a job is getting paid to make something, right? You get a lump sum cash advance for a product you create. And that is what the pitch is for. This is a website I made on Squarespace, okay? This is my pitch for my game Father, okay? I've got a big trailer here that I spent a lot of time on with the demo graphics. and the playthrough of the demo. I've got plot summary. I've got a link to the demo on itch.io. I've got the ability to wish list, but this isn't really for wish listing isn't, really for publishers. I might actually delete that wish list button. We've got screenshots. We've got me saying hello. Look at this. This is like a beautiful, honestly, this is a really great pitch. And it worked, by the way. A lot of publishers reached out. But me introducing myself, being salesy, all of my credentials, beautiful artwork here of the guns, ideas about the gameplay, the hook, the project scope. Scope meaning how big is this thing? How big is this game? And this isn't done. None of this is done. The game doesn't have 9 enemy types. The game doesn't have 8 weapons yet. It doesn't have 6 ascending levels yet. This is the pitch, okay? So that is what you need to create. Get your demo done, get a trailer done, and you would use Adobe Premiere for your trailer, and you would capture graphics in Unity using the Unity Record feature, which is in the package manager. You would put all of this together into your pitch. One website with all of the links, all of the trailers, all of the graphics, you introducing yourself. Everything is in one website. And then you send that to a list of 100 to 200 publishers, okay? Here's an example. This is Curve Games, right? You guys know about a lot of publishers, right? There's plenty. There's Team 17. There's Bloober. There's a ton of different publishers. There's Devolver. There's TinyBuild. There's a ton of publishers. There's hundreds. You reach out to them with your pitch and you say, hey, I need $100,000 to finish this game. Can you imagine if you pitched your first game, that crappy game you made, with all those assets and you barely knew how to make games? This is why I recommend don't use that first game as your pitch, because I don't want you guys to make, let's say you do convince a publisher. Well, you pitched them a garbage game that you didn't really know how to make. You really need to know how to make games before you secure 6 figures plus in funding, okay? So these publishers are going to pay you a paycheck. They might do it monthly. They might do it in one lump sum. They might do it in milestones. They're going to send you a paycheck, and you're going to quit your job and go full time. And it's all with a very simple demo that you created using the knowledge I just shared with you. Again, I highly recommend you release your first crappy game before you do this, because you're going to learn a lot in releasing that crappy game, okay? That's it. And then you make your game, you finish it, right? Because once you've made that vertical slice, once you've made that pitch, once you've made that demo, well, you just rinse and repeat and finish your game. Now, a lot of these publishers, what are they going to offer? They're actually going to offer a variety of services that make things so easy for you. Let's see here. What do they got? Our company, partner with us. Tell us what you do. They don't tell us what they do. A lot of publishers will tell you what they do. They should. But what they do, man, they don't tell you what they do. Come on, guys. Most publishers are going to tell you, most publishers are going to tell you, hey, we handle porting to consoles. Hey, we handle marketing. We handle localization. So you pretty much hand off the Steam build, the PC build, to a publisher, and they'll do the rest. And that's it, guys. Now, if you want to make things easier, obviously check out the asset store, but be sure to check out my programs below. This is totally free, guys. This is not gimmicky. It's just going to enroll you in this course, Easy 3D. Also, if you're into 2D games, I have a 2D game kit, totally free. Use this to make a game for PewDiePie, and I got to play it with PewDiePie on his channel. I made a game in 14 days for him using this game kit. And then also just my top 3 secrets on making 6 figures. There's a whole other way to make 6 figures besides just publishers, and I talk about it. So plenty of resources here, guys. I hope this was helpful. If you like this video, be sure to leave a subscribe. Leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Leave a comment below if this was helpful. I really want to hear your story. I want to know kind of where you guys are. I love reading these comments because it helps me get a better idea of where all of you are. A lot of you are actually full-time game developers. I love hearing stories about this. So let me know below your story and who you are and what you're working on. All right, that is how you start making games. I'll talk to you later. Cheers.